My name is Shelby Rogers. I'm a sophomore, secondary education history major from Chicago, Illinois, campaigning for Student Government Association Vice President.
Okay. Can you explain your platform and explain how it will affect the Student Government Association and the student body?
My platform is kind of a collection of different things that we're going to try with General Student Assembly. My sole responsibility will be General Student Assembly in addition to being the second in command to the Student Government Association. We are starting a I Am program. It's defining what a Tennessee State University man and woman is. I'm doing it in partnership with a couple of reps that are running, Sydney and Maya. But in order for it to be out to the whole campus, and since General Student Assembly, you have all the campus presidents, we want to kind of assume that that's the powerhouse of the university, meeting in one general room, and that if I can put it and present it to them, it can be also a retention for freshmen as well as a way to get all campus organizations involved in defining what a Tennessee State University man and woman is, as we are on the brink of a 100-year celebration. So that each month, um, the acronyms is PAST, purpose-driven, articulate, selfless, strategic, empowered, and diverse. And we put both of those, all those characteristics. Went through a series of meetings trying to come up and define exactly what a Tennessee State University man and woman should be when they leave TSU upon graduation. In addition to that, it will be a series of speakers that will come into the General Student Assembly and just speak upon that topic. And I will ask them to be transparent when they have meetings to, this month is empowerment, do activities related to empowerment. In addition to, in the Constitution, I'm required to do 2 service events each semester. In the service events, I have a long list that I can choose from. But hopefully, once I meet with General Student Assembly, I kind of give them what I have and kind of get their opinions and their thoughts and ideas so that we can come up with something very impactful. Because, like I said again, it's all of the presidents on campus. So we should be coming up with some powerful things, and things should be going out and touching a lot of different people because we have so many different people involved. Another goal of mine, I think they had a lot of problems this year with getting all of the students registered, as far as what they had to pay, how big each organization was, and just ironing out all of those kinks in the beginning so that they know, hey, if it's this amount, is this. If there should be an amount, I'm still trying to see. This year, I'm executive treasurer for the House of Delegates, and we're kind of working through things now, trying to figure out, what is proper, what's not. Are we required to have student organizations pay, to be a student organization on campus? And I'm aware that we're trying to do a gala this year. Blake is, starting off the first annual Tennessee State University Star Gala. I'm going to have that at a nice hotel, hopefully somewhere downtown, and just acknowledge the different campus organizations that are thinking, working, and serving Tennessee State University and the surrounding community. So the I Am program is something that is going to be incorporated into my platform. It's not my platform specifically, but I'm very hands-on with it. I'm very passionate about it, and it will have a great effect on General Student Assembly and to give us some kind of direction on a monthly basis. In addition to that, I have the WB and WS program that we're going to start off as Watson Brothers, Wilson Sisters, to get that camaraderie among the freshmen and also the student organizations. It would it's sort of like a mentoring, but it's not so much of a mentoring. It's more so of a, you're going to have somebody that's in a registered student organization number that you can call no matter what situation goes on. You don't have to be, their best friends, but if anything happens, you don't have, I know they always use cliche, don't have a Walmart, ride to Walmart, I didn't have a car. Anything can happen. You can call on that person for whatever. So y'all don't have to necessarily be best friends, and we're going to try to match up. The WB program will happen with Watson Brothers, so it'll be all campus meal organizations. So, I might, if I'm in Generation Educated Man, if it's not enough people in those organizations to sustain all of the freshmen that we admit in the fall, then I might have 2 or 3 people. But, my guidelines, it'll be clear on what I have to do as an individual. And then if I'm, impactful enough, I would probably want to do more things with my mentee. And it'll be the same thing for the ladies in Wilson Hall. Gamma Sigma Sigma, Lilas, NACWC, all of these women, and they are big organizations on campus, will be matched up with some freshmen just to have an emergency contact for if anything happens. If you're on campus, you're off campus. and something goes down, you can just call and say, hey, this is what is happening, this is where I'm at, just to let you know. And again, to just bring back, we're getting ready to celebrate 100 years. We want to start to thinking of creative ideas. I know we've been planning in SGA, what should that centennial year look like? It'll be the year before the centennial year, so any and everything we do will be geared towards putting us in the right situation so that when 100 years go, we're on the right track. So it's a lot of different things that are changing with the administration, a lot of different things that are changing in SGA this year. A lot of things that we started, we want to continue to move forward on for the next year. So, I mean, it's very important that we stay consistent, that we stay, impactful and to touch everybody on the campus. So that's another thing that I'm trying to do with General Student Assembly. So those two things kind of pretty much are my platform. For SEC Week, I have the Pepsi thing going. I'll probably be handing out Pepsi to a lot of different people. Pepsi's slogan or motto for this year is something for everyone. It is truly something for everyone in Big Blue Country. So I think we have like 70 plus, a little less than 80 registered student organizations. A lot of people weren't able to register. So next year, this summer, I'll be working extremely hard trying to make sure that all registered or all organizations on the books are registered, no matter what the situation is. So if we have an organic club or an organic garden club, I might not like to do it, but somebody might like to do it, and it should be open or an option for them to participate in it, so that we are reaching different people.
Okay. Why did you choose to run for SGA vice president?
Um, I chose to run for SGA vice president because, again, I acknowledge and seeing that it's the centennial year. I've been in SGA since my freshman year, so I kind of know the roles, things that are going on now. I know, I kind of know the students' perspective on things. Speaking in regards to campus organizations, which I will be over, their struggles with the requisitions. So it's a lot of different stuff that we're trying to implement. We have we're trying to get up a new website online so that it can be more user friendly when people are trying to get rooms and different things of that such. So I just seen it as an opportunity for me to step in, introduce two key programs, the IM program, the WB and WS, things that could sustain even after I'm gone. So that General Student Assembly would be known as the powerhouse because, I mean, you have all of the campus presidents there. General Student Assembly should be, I mean, the premier uh, branch of the Student Government Association. So, I mean, it's on its way. It's not there yet. So, hopefully next year we can be putting in the work so that when we hit the 100 years and whoever come after me, they will have this, and this to go off of, and it'll be that much smoother. We'll be, going into the new year.
Okay. What steps have you taken so far to prepare yourself for this position?
Steps. I meet all the time. I mean, I just go to meetings to find out different things. I talk to different people to get. I'm in admissions. I'm in talking to the recruiters. I'm just talking to upperclassmen. I'm talking to people in organizations. So those people are kind of just giving me feedback as to what they look like because I can understand that I'm on the inside. Sometimes you have to step out and say, okay, what should it look like, or what is actually the problem? And 9 times out of 10, the problem is not that hard. It just needs, somebody needs to get in there and be the mediator and say, okay, this is what needs to happen. This is how we can do it, and that way, we can move forward. So, I mean, it's a lot of different things at TSU. I mean, Student Center, for example, organizations decorate. They come back next day, their stuff might be torn down. Excuse me. And it's the reason being is because it's no clear and concise procedures for decorating the student center. So it's obviously somebody needs to step in and say, okay, Mr. Morgan, if you're over the campus center, what can and cannot happen? And then after he gives us those guidelines to say, hey, why did you say that that cannot happen? It has happened in the past. Who is it, hurting, this, and this, so that we can all move forward together. So, I mean, talking to people, being my experience, I'm a sophomore class president as well as the House of Delegates treasurer. So I work with my class all of the time, and trying to get feedback from them and what they think about things. So just talking.
Okay. What sets you apart from the other candidates running for Student Government Association Vice President?
What sets me apart would be I would say my experience, and I know a lot of people. You can hear, a company can say they've been in business 100 years. It does not necessarily mean that a company that just came in business could not do better than you're doing, and you've been here for 100 years. But with Student Government Association, it's a lot goes on that the naked or the person on the outside does not know. And I've spent a lot of time, energy committed to the organization and seeing exactly what's going wrong, not only on the House of Delegates, but with Sub G or with SEC. And when you have that experience and that prior knowledge of how things work, it's easier to make changes happen. But when you don't have a lot of experience and you kind of just walking into it blindly, it's kind of tough, especially at TSU, with a lot of people graduated from here. A lot of people are older, so you have to really be able to know them and be able to work well with them. So my experience dealing throughout the different branches alone, I would say, sets me apart from a lot of candidates.
Okay. Are you academically sound?
Yes, ma'am. I currently have a 3.3. I remind people all of the time I'm a Gates Millennium Scholar for 2009, so academics is very important. I'm going into education. Uh, I'm not above anybody. At the end of the day, I'm still a student. I'm struggling right now, trying to maintain, but that's what the day in the life of a college student is. And I would not be ashamed to tell a freshman, to tell you, to tell the president that, hey, yeah, I'm getting stuck with it right about now, but I am trying to hold on and doing different stuff to make sure that I sustain where I'm at because I do have obligations. I'm on academic scholarship. If I don't perform, I will not be here. So it says a lot.
Okay. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate this year's SGA and why?
On a scale from 1 to 10, I would rate this year's SGA a 10. Again, until you actually go to a meeting every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and not only that meeting at Tuesday that lasts from 8 to maybe midnight, and then you sit in millions of committee meetings when you sit with millions of deans of schools and with the president and with the vice president and dealing with the budget, you have no idea. You will have newfound respect for anybody that serves the office of Student Government Association. A lot of people are working hard, trying to again juggle school, work, and as well as serve the university. And that to me just speak volumes.
Okay. What organizations are you currently a part of, and what leadership positions have you held previously?
I'm currently involved in Generation of Educated Men. I was recently inducted this past year. I've participated in Student Government Association freshman delegation branch. Last year I served as vice president. This year I went, ran again and I won sophomore class president. And within the first 30 days in the Constitution of the House of Delegates, you can vote for the executive board. And I uh, was voted in by the House of Delegates to be the executive treasurer for this year. So those.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
My strengths would be the ability to step back from a situation. A lot of times you will not see me talking to a lot of people because I'm an observer. I listen and then I react. So a lot of different situations. A lot of people can't do that, and I would say I do it well. So if it's ever an altercation, I'll probably be the one that's kind of like, oh, okay, and kind of gather all the information and then respond. That's just the type of individual I am. So just being able to handle those situations, because there's a lot of different stuff that goes on, and with organizations, with people in organizations, with presidents of organizations, and I mean I'm an executive treasurer, but sometimes I would have to step in and say, you know what, this is what the problem is, this is what the issue is, and this is how we need to act because we are all here to do a job, and that's to make and sustain what Tennessee State University was founded upon.
Okay.
My weaknesses,
Okay. Go ahead.
my weaknesses, I guess, would be trying to do it all. I'm a do it all person, so just trying to build up enough trust within somebody else, and I think that just falls back to when you're passionate about something, you don't kind of just want to just leave it out there hanging. So I mean, I'm very passionate about Student Government Association. Uh, the different things. We did a alternative spring break a program, was a pilot program this year with the sophomore ambassadors, and just when you do it all yourself, you just get over, you know, just it just all comes over you. And I'm currently working on that, trying to entrust people that that they can do the job, and kind of be just follow up with them, and not just say okay, I got it, I'll do it, I got it. So that would be my biggest weakness.
Okay. What would you say the three biggest issues TSU is currently facing?
The three biggest issues TSU is currently facing. Um, the first issue I would say is the ability for people to accept change. TSU has been operating on the system that they're operating on, evidently, obviously, since I got here. And then just from this on my second year, and just to interact with the administrators, to interact with the professors, to interact with the students, you could just see that everybody kind of just stuck in their own ways. So the ability to accept change and know that all change is some change may be bad at first, but you have to be the first person that take the hit so that later on down the line it'll smooth out. The second issue would be um, speaking from an SGA standpoint, would be the budget and just the allocation of dollars, and being very clear and concise about where money goes, who should get money, and just how we operate as a whole. And then the accreditation issue is, of course, something that is a problem that is being addressed by our new president. And we've had several conversations with her about being transparent with the students, so that she knows that some people are leaving TSU because they don't know exactly what phase of accreditation we're in, or even, that all they hear is accreditation, and they know if we don't have accreditation, my degree is not valuable. So, I mean, the accreditation issue is also a big issue.
Okay. If elected, what program would you start and why?
If elected, I would definitely implement, along with Sydney Johnson, Maya Lipscomb, and Adrian Harris, the IM program. Uh, when you go online for Morehouse, I'm a Gates Millennium Scholar, and I'm an ambassador for Gates, so I read essays galore during that season when they're trying to turn them in. And I've had several mentees to write essays, and with me not even knowing what post-secondary institution that they're trying to go to, I could realize just by the conversations that they had expressing themselves through the essay that they were going to a Morehouse, or that she was going to a Spelman, and more so Morehouse, because Morehouse defines who they are before you get there. And last year's leadership conference for the honors program I went to, it was about branding yourself. And that was when we all got together to say, you know what, we need to put a brand on what a Tennessee State University man is, and it needs to be, empowered. It needs to be powerful enough so that upperclassmen will buy into it. So that's another reason why, because they're working hard with the retention rate on the freshmen. I'm going to work extremely hard with the organization so that we can get this molded in, and that 2 years down the line, when we're all gone, we can come back and see and hear people stating that I'm a Tennessee State University man. I'm purpose driven, I'm articulate, I'm strategic, I'm selfless, I'm empowered, I'm diverse, and that they can be able to spit that. And when you create a brand, everything else kind of falls into place.
Okay. Who's your past favorite or most influential SGA member?
My past favorite or most influential. I've only been here 2 years, um, so I didn't have the privilege of experiencing her in her work, but it's very clear that she did a job, and it's Ashley Floyd, and she's not even here. And I mean, you could go downstairs right now, and people would just say, well, when Ashley Floyd was here, she did this, this, and this. Well, she made this, and this happen. So she's, to me, my most influential, because she's gone and people still talking about her. And that's how it should be. You should be doing things just like that, so that when you leave, somebody else can say, well, she started this, and this. Well, she started this, and this.
What will you bring to the table if you are elected for the 71st SGA administration and our upcoming centennial year?
What would I bring to the table? creative ideas. I'm very good. I took the Gallup Strength Finder. One of my strengths is an arranger. So I'm very good at putting people in certain situations that allow them to be very creative, as well as myself being there and putting my, my own input in. But um, the students in the centennial year is going to only be as successful as the students make it. So if I'm with General Student Assembly and I'm grinding it out with them through the year, and I'm seeing those people who are dedicated and determined to making Tennessee State University, what it is, then I'm gonna pull those people, those creative people. And it might not necessarily be General Student Assembly members, because I have many friends that I call on right now that's not associated with any organization, and I can count on them to do a flyer, or I can count on them to read a paper, or so just putting people that's skilled in different things to work. We have marketing people. I think I met with IMX just with this election stuff, and they have a lot of good ideas, and SGA can use them because they have access to my TSU. Using what we have here, the resources are here. It's just nobody connected and nobody speaking with one another. So if I win, I definitely will be using them with posters, marketing, different things that we do, different activities. I'm trying to do a Red Ribbon Week with the General Student Assembly, which is drug and alcohol awareness, as one of our big activities. Hopefully, we can cover the student center with all red balloons and tie the columns with red ribbons, and so it's just a lot of different things that you can do that are right here. It just takes somebody kind of getting the crowd right.
Okay. Could you please sing or state the alma mater?
Or stated,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in the land of golden sunshine, by the Cumberland's fertile shore, stands a school for greater service. One that we adore, alma mater, how we love thee, love thy white and blue. May we stand to lift our heads up. In the land, I'm gonna sing it.
Okay.
In the land of golden sunshine, by the Cumberland's fertile shore, stands a school for greater service, one that we adore. Alma mater, how we love thee, love thy white and blue. May we stand to lift our heads up with faith that's true.
Okay. Do you have anything that you would like to leave with the student body?
I would like to leave with the student body to be very excited for the upcoming school year. Be ready to work. Be ready to get Tennessee State University to where it should be when we have all our alumni, current students, prospective students that will be in Nashville, Tennessee on that centennial celebration year. And just continue to work hard in school, academics. Always put academics first, and just strive to do the very best that you can. And hopefully support me. I will definitely be supporting them in every endeavor that they can. You can always talk to me about any situation. You can always call on me about any situation, and I'm gonna try to react the best way I can to point you in the right direction.